Memorial Day is upon us yet again, and this year could bring even more frustration than fun for travelers. With outrageously long security lines topping 2 and 3 hours at a number of major airports, drawing more attention to the already beleaguered Transportation Security Administration.
Some airports are now weighing a radical option, firing TSA screeners and hiring private replacements instead. Bloomberg News reporter Justin Bachman joins us now from Dallas with more. And Justin, great to see you. Are airports without the federal officers any different, any less safe? That's the question everyone wants to know.
They're not less safe. It's really the same standards and the same protocols that all airports have to follow. And the TSA maintains, authority for keeping those airports just as safe as all the rest of them.
So how did this happen? Let me do a little personal story. So the last time I traveled was April 2014. Then I had a baby and stuff. And then I traveled again last month. And the difference in 2 years was unbelievable. I had never seen lines that long since I was a kid. What happened?
Well, what happened is the TSA lost a lot of people and they lost budget. So this is really a staffing and a budget issue. And that's kind of what we're seeing. The issues all come home to roost right now.
Coming home to roost right now. So if airports are going around the TSA and looking to hire private screeners, what does the TSA say about this? Do they support this option?
Well, they haven't said a lot about this option yet, but I think over time you're going to hear more talk about whether this could be part of the solution. Maybe not everywhere and maybe not the largest airports, but it could potentially free up staffing and resources in some areas to give you more people in other places. And, that's really kind of what, right now, I think everybody is just scrambling to see what could solve this problem and get us through the summer.
I mean, some of this video is like crazy with all these people. What airports have actually gone more with private contractors versus TSA, and what's been the result of that?
Well, most of the airports now, there are 22, and they're fairly small. San Francisco and Kansas City are the two largest ones in the program now. So the people, when you're going through those airports, you don't really notice a difference. The only difference might be slight variation in the uniform, but the standards are the same. And, what's happened is that a lot of the airports that are talking about this are saying, we may get better customer service and we may get more of a response when we see problems from a contractor than we do from the TSA. But that's still an open question.
Still an open question, but if enough airports decide to move away from the TSA and go to the private security screeners option, does that compel the TSA to do anything? Is there a response that the TSA needs to give?
Well, they generally transition in a year, and they've been approving more of these now. They don't have any currently pending, they say. But what you're really faced with is that it's still a budget issue. The money that would pay the private contractors is still the same money that's paying the TSA screeners. So if you don't get more money, it's not clear that you're going to actually solve your long wait problem, because it really goes to staffing.
And Alex, of course, one option that's been thrown out there is that people can sign up more for the TSA pre-check, where you are pre-screened and therefore you can go into the fast line. Of course, you have to pay up for that, something like $88.
So not a lot of people have actually done that, which is sort of exacerbated the problem. All right, so if I'm traveling on a plane this weekend and then that airport decides to switch over to private contractors, how soon do I get to feel the relief?
You're not going to see a change. It's probably going to be a year. So maybe next Memorial Day, we'll be talking about this change at those airports.